Well, the problem remains. There's no ghetto here, just poverty. The worst kind of poverty. The kind of poverty that makes you wonder, can this be the United States of America, the richest country in the world, in the year 1967? It is not just material poverty, there is also a poverty of the spirit.
What is it about the Negro? I mean, every other group that came as an immigrant somehow, not easily, but somehow got around it. Is it just the fact that the Negroes are black?
The fact is that the Negro was a slave in this country for 244 years. That led to the thingification of the Negro. So he was not looked upon as a person. He was not looked upon as a human being with the same status and worth as other human beings. And it seems to me that white America must see that no other ethnic group has been a slave on America's soil. And so emancipation for the Negro was really freedom to hunger. It was freedom to the winds and rains of heaven. It was freedom without food to eat or land to cultivate, and therefore it was freedom and famine at the same time. And when white Americans tell the Negro to lift himself by his own bootstraps, they don't look over the legacy of slavery and segregation. I believe we ought to do all we can and seek to lift ourselves by our own bootstraps. But it's a cruel jest to say to a bootless man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps.
King is deeply pessimistic that America will ever undertake the pursuit of real equality for black people.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I'm going to read an opening statement.
And that leads him to announce the idea of holding a poor people's campaign in Washington in the spring of 1968.
The Southern Christian Leadership Conference will lead waves of the nation's poor and disinherited to Washington, D.C. next spring to demand redress of their grievances by the United States government. We will go there, we will demand to be heard, and we will stay until America responds.
The FBI was deeply alarmed by these plans for Hoover. This was his home turf. But they're also very concerned about the kind of conflict that might emerge out of this. They thought it could be a significant threat to the national capital in particular.